roofs, keep the juices flowing because they're fun. They're a challenge. And again, not so much to draw, but just to figure out for me, because I understand the roof tools so well that I could, I can draw a roof without even looking at 3D model and know it's going to be right. That comes with doing it a lot of times and teaching lots of people. You teach a few thousand people how to do roofs, so you tend to get pretty good at it. All right, so roofs. What is a roof plane? A roof plane has unique characteristics other items in Chief don't have. All right, yeah, okay, a roof has fascia and gutter, and now it has rafter tails, and it can be put at any angle. It can be resized. It can be reshaped. It can be joined. The edges can be joined together using a join tool. So a lot of neat things. It can have any thickness, shape, angle, and be located anywhere in 3D in your plan. Doesn't matter if it's over a wall. You don't have to have anything in your plan, and you could add roofs. It doesn't matter. Roofs are their own thing. Roofs interact with other roof planes automatically or by using the supplied tools. If a roof covers a wall, it will cut the top of the wall off. Unless, of course, you've stretched that wall up, and then it won't work. Then it won't get cut off anymore. If it's higher than a wall, if the roof is higher than a wall, Chief will add a wall called an attic to meet the bottom side of that roof. That's what it does. And the attic is just a wall added by Chief. You can change it into whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Attic walls don't have to be attic walls. There's nothing magical about them. It's just something Chief does to fill in blank space, blank spot. It makes a copy of the wall below. And then if you do framing, framing fills roof planes based on shape and thickness of the roof box. Remember I said everything Chief's made out of boxes? Well, if you create a container that's shaped, that's at an angle and it has a thickness and you're calling it a roof, Chief's going to fill that with other CAD boxes that look like framing. I mean, it does a really good job at that. And then you can edit that all day long and make it look exactly like you want it to be. It does a nice job. All right. Using the automatic roof tools. What do they do? The automatic roof tools add a baseline called a baseline. It's a CAD line on all the exterior walls. The height of the baseline is based on the ceiling height of the room next to the wall. It builds 3D polyline CAD boxes, roof plans, at an angle from the baseline. This wasn't supposed to pop up right now, but it did. The automatic roof tool is going to get somewhere between that and that correct on your roofs. If you have a simple house, it's going to get it pretty close. If you have a complex house, never mind. It's not going to do it. So it's going to get somewhere between those two numbers of your roof correct. The goal is to get closer to this number than this number. Although once you get good with the manual roof tools, it doesn't matter. You're going to get so good at it anyway. What is a baseline? I'm not even going to show you in Chief. I'll show you right here. If you've ever done a roof, you'll notice that every roof plane has a green dotted line with a little tick mark pointing up, or pointing somewhere. You got a little tick mark in the middle of that line. The tick mark's the center of the length of that line. That's all it is. But that tick line also points up toward the ridge, so you know which way that roof will go. So what Chief does when it builds an automatic roof, and this is all it does. All right, there's nothing magical about the automatic roofs in Chief. This is the only thing it does. Chief Architect, the training that Chief does, they spend an enormous amount of time trying to teach you how to get these automatic roofs done correctly. Skip all that. You use the automatic roof tool to get the roof started, and then we're going to spend our time learning the manual tools so you can draw any kind of roof you want, anytime you want. Okay? That's what the manual roof tools are about, and they work fantastic. All right, but when you do a new roof, whether it's manual or automatic, you do start with a baseline. Every roof plane starts with a baseline. Automatically, these two walls are marked as gable walls, by the way. When you mark a wall as a gable wall, in the wall dialog, Chief just doesn't put a baseline above that wall. It just lets the roof build up over it. That's all it does. It doesn't know it's a gable wall. It just tells it not to put a baseline there. Baseline is where all roof planes start. When you click Build Roofs, Chiefs puts a baseline around all your exterior walls, builds roof planes up, and tries to hook them together. End result is a hip roof. Chief doesn't build hip roofs. That's what a lot of people say. I would ask them, what does Chief do? It builds hip roofs. No, that's the end result of what Chief does when you build an automatic roof, if you haven't done anything else. Once the baseline's in place, Chief builds roof planes up from them. It adds the roof planes and it attempts to connect all the edges. Again, because I had marked those two end walls as gables, there's no baseline for Chief to build a roof up from. So it doesn't. What does the automatic roof tool not do? It doesn't use any sort of database of intelligence to add roofs. None whatsoever. What I just showed you is the only thing the automatic roof tool does. Puts a baseline on. Again, that baseline height is determined by the ceiling height of the room next to the outside wall. It does not take any structural elements into consideration. Does not read your mind. It's not programmed to confuse you. Okay, that you do by yourself. All right. It will not add baselines over any interior walls automatically. The automatic function in Chief for roofs is just there to get you started with your roofs, and that's it. Again, some plans it's going to do pretty good. It's going to get most of the roof in for you. At some point, you must make a commitment to stop using the automatic roof tool function and do everything manually. Because if you've done a roof and you then manually, if you've done some roofs manually and then you change from automatic, then you redo them automatically, you're going to lose all your changes. Even though Chief has some buttons there that say, well, retain these roofs, retain it. Doesn't matter. We don't use those. Here's some items used to manually edit roofs. You know what? I'm going to come back and I'll show you those in just a little bit. I'm going to move forward. What are the parts of a roof plane? Okay, we've got those 3D boxes called roof planes. We've got a ridge. We've got a Raptor depth. Again, the X2 looks a little bit different than this. We've got a pitch. We've got the baseline. That's what I was just talking about. There's that baseline. That's that green dotted line. That baseline has a Z-axis. It has a height to it in 3D. That's where all roof planes start from. And then every roof plane has a fascia. All roofs start with a baseline, okay? There's that baseline again. Okay. Even manually drawn roofs, which is what I'm going to talk about now in just a minute. I'm going to show you how to do a roof in Chief that you cannot do automatically. So as much as you want to try.